Now, good evening to all those fellow Americans, Legionnaires, and fellow spotters too. Now, there's nothing more American than the Bowie knife. And the other thing that's just as American as the Bowie knife is the late great Terry Bollea. Everybody known as Hulk Hogan. I definitely know him as Hulk Hogan. Because I grew up watching him wrestle ever since the early 90s. Couldn't think about one of my most earliest memories of watching him was seeing him win the Royal Rumble in 1990, which led to, the Ultimate Challenge, where he went against the Ultimate Warrior, another great wrestler of mine, one of my favorites back in the day, and he dropped the belt to him. Later on, he would continue his career into WCW and then form the NWO, which kind of led the spark in creating the greatest boom period of wrestling, which is the Attitude Era. Now, with that being said, I give nothing but my full condolences towards his family, his friends, and hell, I'm still a Hulkamaniac to this day. I will always be a fan, regardless of what people say about this man. Now, with that being said, I just love to say this. Rest in peace, Hulk. You will not be forgotten, especially by me. Now, getting that out of the way, I want to get into this knife. Well, this type of knife, as in the American Bowie knife. I've had several renditions of this. In the purest form, the Bowie knife is a fighting knife. And I find that was mostly used by, actually, I was mainly used by James Bowie, who lost his life in the Battle of Alamo. And like I said before, in its purest form, it is a fighting knife. And some people could also somewhat use this as a bushcraft knife. Now, my first Bowie knife that I actually bought was actually the stripped down version of this one. It was what do you call? It was a wooden handle, not this bone handle that recedes here. Yeah, it also had this, but thing about it is that I actually tried to practically cut with this to see how tough it is. The edge held up. The only problem is that this came off and then I had to glue in it. The only unfortunate thing is that it's not welded on. Kind of like this one right here, which was created by Donnie B. All Day. Couldn't think, but I think he was kind of inspired by this blade to create this blade. It's pretty much the correct version of this. It's not just for fighting. You actually, use this for bushcraft if you want to. And strangely enough, it's very, very light despite its size. This is pretty much my go-to Bowie, because I know not only can I fight with this, I could probably cut a tree down with this and cut some wood and probably do some bushcraft if worst comes to worst, I end up getting lost in the woods somehow. But initial story when it comes to the Bowie knife is sheath. Is how it wasn't really my favorite blade shape at the time. At the time I started collecting knives, I kind of thought it was a boring shape at first, until I watched the Expendables with, once again, this knife, followed by Dolph Lundgren's character Gunther. That I was like, wow, that's a very pretty knife. And when I got it in my hand and started using it, I started becoming a fan, kind of like I did with the Gurkha Kruki. And like I said, this is the go-to. But also, I started collecting more and more Bowie-shaped knives. And Real Heaven has some pretty nice designs when it comes down to it. This one's so very good. Uso Bowie type of shape. The only problem is it's a little bit of a rattle when it comes down to the handle. I don't know, maybe I should fix it, but it's just kept right over there into wraps. Where's my other buoy? Oh, there it is. And then the latest buoy I've gotten was this Wild West Cold Steel buoy. It's a little bit smaller than the rest, but it's just as thick, just as wide. And I like this little knife. Yeah, you may be thinking, what do you mean little? This is a huge knife. Yeah. People have different interpretations when it comes to size. I guess my interpretation of size is kind of like a prostitute's with dick size. In inches or more. To me, big is probably 12 inches or more. Which is once again why this is my go-to buoy. 5160 steel, created once again by Donnie B all day. And I love this knife. I carry it with me pretty much as much times as I want to and need to. And I fitted it up right here with this Marauder buoy. This Marauder buoy too. 2 buoys and 1 sheath. Along with a little karambit, but it's not about that. It's not about the buoy. This rubberized handle, I think it's Oz 8 steel. Yeah, it's Oz 8 steel. It's among one of my favorite knives, and that's why I paired it on with this big Tim buoy. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna end this a little short because I don't want this video to be too long. And again, I'll bid you all farewell. Stay sharp, stay frosty. I'm gonna hit you up with one of these. And once again, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.